Okay, so today we are talking about how to overcome the guilt when taking time off in your business, coming from a former workaholic who successfully recovered from burnout, aka me. So it's a common theme, actually, like this one. It's a persistent one too. And lately I've seen like new fronts kind of like appearing on threads, like the Instagram, Twitter version, between those who want to be in their ultimate like soft girl era, fully embracing slow life and completely ditch the hustle and bustle of building and running a business. And those other ones who are heels deep in their boss girl area, embracing the full grind, working their asses off kind of side. The problem is though, boss girls shame the soft girls for not working hard enough. Soft girls shame the boss girls for working too hard. Boss girls then might feel guilty for when they do need a break, and soft girls feel guilty when there are days they put in more work. So, how about we just call in what I kind of like nicely call the soft boss girl era? The one you do shit your way without burning out in a sustainable way, but you still get stuff done whilst having fun and taking breaks without any guilt of not being productive. Like, how does that sound? To me, that sounds brilliant. And I really want to dive into the reasons why these emotions come up. Like, why does this guilt and this kind of like shaming also come up? And it's because we're wired to connect success with hard work, and we connect worthiness with success. So the harder we work, the worthier we are of success. So picture this. This is like literally an example from myself. You love what you do. So you put your all into this. Your business and your clients are on your mind 24/7, but you finally took the time to take a break after like 3 years in, and not just a weekend, but 2 weeks off. The plane ticket is booked, the hotel looks lush, your calendar has been emptied, clients are informed, and you got a cover maybe even to help you out in that time. Like everything is just set out so you can just relax. Then you hop on the plane. First, okay, cool, 14-hour flight in front of you. And you might wonder, should I use that time? I should read maybe that business book my mentor recommended, or maybe I can play around with some content ideas or do some brainstorming. But then you fall asleep and then you don't do anything on the plane and you wake up short before landing feeling a bit shit because you didn't use this extra time that you got. And then maybe this feeling lingers with you and you get to like your hotel and the following days, like whenever you lay at the beach, you have like this nagging feeling of what you could do, how you could spend this time, how you could be productive right now. You wonder maybe what your clients are up to, whether everything's fine. You sneakily maybe check your emails just to make sure like everything is really fine. Or you take like loads of pictures and videos for content to use later. And you maybe also think about how much time you're losing on preparing for the next launch for your next offer because you're just sitting right here and doing like nothing and you feel guilty for taking the trip and make plans and maybe how to even catch up with all the work when you're back. And like I know I'm not alone. Okay. I know I'm not the only one who has experienced this. Um I've heard like so many similar stories from fellow entrepreneurs who've been going through the exact same, and they all wonder, why do I feel so guilty for taking time off? I can't enjoy it, but I know I need it. So let's answer this question, shall we? There are, first of all, kind of like three in one reasons for this, starting with the fear of judgment. We might fear that we are being perceived as less dedicated or capable, which can then lead to overworking and burnout. Next up, we have internalized perfectionism, as we feel we must excel in every task and can be constantly like available to make sure we make like we deliver like a good performance. And then taking time off doesn't really fit into this equation, as when we're off, we can't show up, right? Or at least this is the way we kind of like learn to think about it. And the third reason is kind of a mix between the other two, which is imposter syndrome and the need to prove oneself, or that our work we do is not enough and therefore we don't deserve the time off. And I also said three in one because you might have guessed already, like all of these reasons, they all go back to self doubt. We doubt our capabilities to deal with things when we take time off. We doubt that we are worthy of the undisrupted vacation. We doubt that we can make it if we rest. So we literally just put a whole load of extra pressure on ourselves. And I dare say anyone who came into the entrepreneurial space from being in the corporate before has these limiting beliefs, and that's where they come from. I dare say that. The traditional ways of working demand and reward overwork compared to someone who is doing what the contract says, black and white, as it's deemed like maybe being more invested or more determined and being like more on it and more like interested in like the company's like success. And if you're not doing that, then you might be considered as slacking or not interested or not invested at all. Or maybe if you are, for example, clocking off early, and it might be like being side-eyed by colleagues, maybe you even get some comments like, oh, are we off early again? Like, I've heard that before. And over years and years, we have been like literally taught to work hard all the time to make it. And I do want to say, like, I am all for working hard, but also I am all for taking rest and breaks when needed, because simply only working hard has got me to burnout. And I don't want you to burn out, okay? I really don't want that for anyone else to experience, to have to experience. So the thing here is like the old ways of working in corporate do not take into consideration the human and the basic needs. And when you then leave the corporate space to work for yourself, you need to unlearn all of these habits. And most of all, this way of thinking or these beliefs about yourself and your work, and also the worth of yourself and the worthiness of yourself and your work. And this takes time, as with any habit, but it's not impossible. So I want to share with you two key principles that I implemented to let go of the guilt. And I'll give you some specific examples on how this worked for me. But the beauty of a principle is that you can just adapt it and take it, and you just adapt it to what works best for you. So you can fully enjoy your next trip, or in general, feel less worn out as you continue working as the soft boss girl, as we now call it. Starting with, as anything starts really in this kind of like business, or when working with me, it always starts from within. It starts with your mindset. So we start with reframing your mindset and your limiting beliefs. So it's really important that you learn to shift your perspective from viewing time off as a luxury to seeing it as a necessity for your well-being and your productivity. And understand that rest is crucial actually for maintaining a high performance and really putting out your best. So for me, for example, it was a huge help to realize how nourishing real time off is, but not just on vacation, like literally every single day. To have those pockets of time for myself, or to spend with my boyfriend, like going to the gym in the morning, cooking together for lunch or for dinner, or continuing our marathon of watching the anime fairy tale, like whatever it is that really like just lights me up. And it's just like some downtime for me where I can just relax. And I learned that time off refuels my creativity as well as energy. And that's two things that I absolutely need when working with clients, because I want to be at my best when working with clients, right? Because they deserve my best work and I want to have them the best possible experience. And that includes me being fully recharged and energized rather than on my like third cup of coffee, 4 hours of sleep only, because I have been like working on this new launch or on like creating content all night, and another like painkiller just to get through the calls and through the day. Like, they deserve better and you deserve better too. So if you want to deliver great and sustainable results, shift your mindset to knowing rest is productive. Can I repeat myself? Rest is productive. We're not talking about 24/7 doing shit, like doing nothing at all. It is creating those pockets of downtime where you can recharge, where you can nourish yourself, where you can do something for your mind, body, spirit, and heart. We talked about that before. So regularly remind yourself that taking breaks is actually an investment in your long-term success. We are in this for the long term. It's not just about short-term success. Like, again, overnight success, overnight changes, overnight shifts, they basically do not exist. You got to put in some work. The next principle, the second one, is set strong boundaries to protect your time and energy. So establish clear boundaries between your work and your personal time, and communicate your availability and stick to it. Have it in your calendar, communicate with your partners, your colleagues, with your team. ensure that you have really like uninterrupted time off, and delegate where possible, or communicate that you simply will not be available in that time, maybe to your clients. And I know this will be hard at first, as with anything that we're doing new, or try to unlearn. But like learning to let go of that, and like the need to be on all the time, is a true game changer, and it will get easier after a while. So I, for example, have quite strong boundaries with work time. I always schedule my private life first, and then work comes second. This means that normally before like 9:30 a.m., it's this time that like I get up at 5, right? So from 5 to 9:30 a.m., that's like 4.5 hours. That is literally untouched with anything work stuff. I might the maximum thing that I still need to like unlearn actually myself is maybe scrolling through threads, or doing a little Instagram post, or maybe answering some Instagram messages or DMs. But normally that's completely untouched in it with anything work related. So I would not sit down, I would not have any calls, I would not have any meetings before 9:30 a.m. And the other thing is that recently I changed clocking off actually from 5 p.m. to 4 p.m., so a little bit earlier, because I just wanted to get some time back to focus on some things I love, like reading, or just picking back up to learn Mandarin, and to focus on other things that I know I really want to do and that are important to me. So ask yourself, where would you like to set some boundaries around your time? Why you want that boundary, and be clear on the advantage you get out of it, then make it a non-negotiable. Again, for example, I've heard from my some of my clients that they take Friday to Monday completely off, for example, to not read any messages, to do anything business related, or to spend truly like time just with their friends and family from Friday to Sunday. Like obviously then Monday they start again. Or others have scheduled regular happiness days into their calendars to reintroduce like more nourishing activities into their lives, and more fun and more joy, because that's one of their values. Or it could also just simply be a rule to never have breakfast or lunch at your desk. Like whatever it is that protects really your time and energy, gets you away from work, and gets you to shut down or shut off, to just focus on yourself, on your own well-being. And with implementing these shifts into your life, you will find that with time, you think differently about taking a break, and you will feel differently about it as you reap the benefits of your mindset work and your proactive boundary setting that will safeguard your energy and your peace of mind. And I do want to point out again, I just said it before, but I do want to point out, this will take time and practice. Like, for example, with the recent shift I have done from stopping to work at 4 p.m. rather than 5 p.m., I still feel guilt pop up at times. Like, it's normal, especially when I still see my boyfriend working still like from 4 to 5. But thanks to the work in the last like 3 to 4 years, to really focus on having these nourishing routines and really protecting my time, these feelings of guilt, like they come up, but they also pass really quickly again. And I know they don't say shit about me or my worth or my business or my work. They just come and they go, and I get to enjoy my book, like reading or flying around on my broom in Hogwarts Legacy with slightly more ease every single day, and practicing it. And it is so worth it. Like again, it makes me happy, it refuels my energy, my creativity, and it really allows me to be at my best when I'm at work, and being more efficient and less stressed and less grumpy. So this is what I really call the perfect mix between soft girl and boss girl. So this is your soft boss girl era. The perfect blend of both to ensure your personal success in your best way possible. And I also just want to say, if you don't want to do this alone, but with other like-minded women, then I highly recommend you to consider joining my membership, the Best Selves Club, which is the space to become your own best self and authentically create and follow your personal roadmap through a fulfilling and happy life and business. So before I see you again next week, I would love to hear from you what you will implement in your soft boss girl era. And if you like this episode, well, please do leave a like, and I shall see you again next week with another guest episode.